Alright, this video is for Ian, who is doing the same swap as me. He's putting a 94, or a BP in his 94 MX-3. Basically, I'm just going to go over everything you need to do to put a BP in a 94 MX-3, because there is wiring differences and it's not just as easy as the older ones. So, going off my setup here, I'm running the MAF and everything, and I'm running the 1.6 B6 ECU that comes in the MX-3. That's for the starters. Keep that ECU in here, that way you don't have to get a new wiring harness for the external ignition coil. So since the B6 uses an internal, this is actually the B6 distributor. You just pop that out of your B6, put it in the BP. B6 MAF, I'm using the B6 throttle position sensor. You're going to have to wire in your idle air control valve for the BPs. Hold on, you can't see, fucking glare. You can kind of see the connectors. The wires are the exact same color, so it's not too hard to do. Depending on what header you use, I just went ahead and used the Kia Sophia BP header and downpipe. And then no matter what header you use though, keep your O2 sensor, because you're going to need that to go into your wiring harness. What else do we got? You're going to need to wire in your VICS solenoids and whatnot, because the wiring harness that goes on the fuel rail that comes out this side has a different connector over here than the B6. So it's really easy to do. It takes about 5 minutes. You take the fuel rail off the B6 and you can take the wiring harness out and put it on the BP fuel rail. The reason why I have connectors hanging and everything is because I have my VICS deleted. But like here, like the PRC solenoid, you got to wire that in. And white with a red stripe goes to the creamy white with a red stripe. And then gray with a black stripe goes to the black. And that's for your fuel pressure regulator, the PRC control. Now if you want to make life even easier, and you want to keep all the accessories off your B6, like your alternator and whatnot, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take the water pump pulley off your B6 and put it on your BP water pump. Set your power steering pump and your AC compressor aside, and the adjustment bracket, you're going to have to bolt that in. You can't see where that shiny new bolt is. You have to bolt it in right there on your motor mount bracket right here for your BP, and you can use your alternator too. So I'm running, all of my accessories from the B6 on the BP, and it's working out just fine. So, yeah. You're gonna need some hose, because for the brake booster, the hose used to go right about, I think, like here for the B6, but the BP, it goes over here. So what I did was I got some zip ties and zip tied on the firewall and just ran a new hose. Other than that, everything else is pretty much plug and play. When you drop the motor in, you're going to have to kind of shimmy a little bit, because this motor's a little longer. That's why this bracket's shorter for the motor mount. And you just kind of got to get it in the right way. But that's pretty much it. Make sure your timing is spot on. And it might run a little funny on the 1.6 ECU until you can get a full permanent setup, because mine still runs kind of weird, but it runs. Now for whenever you swap over to the G series transmission, you're going to need all the mounts that came on the Protege G series transmission. The B6 mounts won't work. I fabricated a couple of mine, and I have custom mounts. But it's much easier just to get the ones, like you can see that one right there, that's totally custom mount. That's a whole new metal plate welded on and everything. That mount is original to the G series, and the back mount is a B6 that I converted. But that bolts right into your subframe, and the neutral switch sensor and the reverse light sensor plug right into the B6 wiring harness. Also, you're going to need, if you switch over to the the BP thermostat housing, I think they both fit, it'll have a coolant temperature sensor coming out of it. Now there's a spot right next to it, you can kind of see where that RTV is, where you can just stick your B6 coolant temperature sensor in there. You can just reuse that as well, which is what I did. I think other than that, That's pretty much all you got to do, because the 94 is, you know, it's got a couple of differences in wiring. Like I said, it's got the internal ignition coil versus external. Also for the ignition, actually no, yeah, for the ignition, the only thing that'll work is a 94 MX-3 ignition. Spark plug wires, I don't think it matters. I'm using Protege spark plug wires, just not using the 5th one for the coil. So, and if you use the Kia Sophia header, you need to make sure you delete your EGR, because you're not going to have EGR anymore, and you're going to have a check engine light for the EGR, and I don't know for anything else off the top of my head. So, and I haven't figured it out, but if you do encounter the problem I encountered, after you do the swap, your AC, your AC and your cooling fan won't come on anymore. I'm still figuring that one out. So none of my fans come on. The only one that comes on is the one when I turn my AC on, but my AC won't kick on. It's a new compressor. So, I don't know. But other than that, I think that is everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, if you need anything else, just ask.